Let me ask you something brutally honest. Why is it that no matter how many hours you study, no matter how many times you promise yourself you'll change, you always end up exactly where you started, struggling, behind, frustrated? Here's the truth you've been avoiding. You're not lazy, you're not dumb, you've simply been programmed wrong. You've been trapped in a system, a psychological prison, that conditions you to believe that hard work equals success. But that's a lie, because hard work without direction is just self-inflicted failure in slow motion. This summer could be your final chance, your final comeback, but only if you finally do what 99% of students never figure out. So let me make it crystal clear. There are 7 invisible reasons, 7 mental locks, that are destroying your academic progress before you even touch a textbook. And I'm not going to talk about the obvious things like procrastination, time management, or motivation. No, I'm talking about the root virus in your thinking that infects every hour you try to study. And until you delete these 7 blocks, nothing will work. No app, no planner, no Pomodoro timer will save you. So if you're someone who's tired of restarting every semester with fake hope, if you're sick of watching others succeed with half your effort and wondering what you're missing, then stop scrolling. This is the moment where you unlearn everything the system taught you about success. Because this summer isn't about catching up. It's about flipping the script. It's about becoming dangerously efficient, brutally focused, and emotionally untouchable. It's about finally building the mindset of a student who doesn't hope to succeed. They dominate by design. I'm going to walk you through each of these 7 reasons. But let me warn you, once you understand them, you can't go back. You won't be able to tolerate distractions. You won't be able to accept mediocrity. Your brain will be rewired to operate on a level only 1% of students ever reach. So if you're ready to break free from the cycle, if you're ready to stop pretending and finally do what works, then keep watching, because your ultimate academic comeback starts now, and it begins with undoing everything that's been holding you back. Let's expose the first reason, and once you see it, you'll never study the same way again. Reason number 1. You treat studying like a task, not a transformation. Most students open their books like they're clocking into a boring job. They think, okay, I need to finish 3 chapters. Wrong. That's a checklist mindset, and it's destroying your potential. You don't study to complete tasks. You study to become unrecognizable from who you were last week. Success isn't about how much you study. It's about how much you change every time you do, until you reprogram your brain to crave growth, not just progress. You'll always feel stuck. The elite don't study. They upgrade, session by session, identity layer by identity layer. Reason number 2. You haven't rewired your identity. Here's the cold truth. If you still believe deep down that you're not a smart person or just bad at school, you'll unconsciously sabotage every single effort you make. It's not your strategy that's broken. It's your identity loop. Your brain always returns to what it believes is normal. Until you brainwash yourself into believing you're the type of person who dominates academically, no method, no plan, no course will work long-term. Start calling yourself what you want to become, until your reality has no choice but to follow. Reason number 3. You're addicted to short-term results. Every time you obsess over your last test grade, you train your brain to panic. You're feeding your dopamine system failure and making your focus shallow. High achievers zoom out. They're not chasing a grade. They're building a system that makes winning inevitable. Shift your mind from "what did I get?" to "what system am I building today that guarantees I never lose again?" You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the strength of your systems. Reason number 4. You've linked studying to pain. Be honest. Do you associate studying with pressure, fear, guilt, and failure? If so, every time you sit down to study, your brain resists. Not because you're weak, but because your nervous system thinks you're under attack. You must break this emotional chain. How? You condition pleasure into studying. Reward yourself for showing up, not for results. Laugh during breaks. Make sessions feel empowering, not punishing. Once you do this, studying becomes addictive. Reason number 5. You're operating on external motivation. Motivational quotes, deadline panic, and parent pressure might get you started, but they'll never make you last. You need a deep inner why that scares you into action. A vision so strong, failure feels like death. Ask yourself, who will I become if I don't master this now? What life will I be forced to live if I keep playing small? When your internal reasons are stronger than external noise, you enter a mental state where distractions die, and focus becomes effortless. Reason number 6. You're copying the wrong people. Stop following the advice of people who are average and proud of it. Stop copying study YouTubers who study for aesthetics, not achievement. Real achievers don't post cute desk setups. They're studying in silence, building dominance while others perform productivity. If you want elite results, follow elite behaviors. Think deeper, question everything, and work in silence so your results speak louder than your words. Reason number 7. You haven't hit mental rock bottom yet. Here's the darkest truth of all. You're still losing because it doesn't hurt enough yet. You haven't reached that moment where you slam the book, punch the table, and scream, "I will never be average again." Until you break, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you will always drift back into comfort. But when you hit that moment where you refuse to waste another second living below your potential, that's when the shift begins. That's when the academic comeback is born. Now you know the 7 reasons you've been stuck, and now you have a choice. Go back to scrolling. Keep lying to yourself. Keep saying, "next semester." Or, make this summer the season where everything changes. Because the ones who rise aren't the smartest. They're the ones who saw the trap and snapped the chain. Now, you've seen the truth. These 7 reasons weren't just random tips. They were the mental viruses that have been silently sabotaging you. And if you felt even one of them hit too close to home, good. That's your brain waking up. This summer is not about working harder. It's about cutting the chains, breaking the invisible blocks, and stepping into the version of you that no longer begs for success because they command it. So I want you to do this right now. Comment below the number of the reason that hit you the hardest. Was it identity? Was it pain association? Call it out, name it, because once you expose it, you can erase it. And if you're serious, actually serious, about making your comeback this summer, then share this with the version of you from last semester, the one who needed this, the one who almost gave up, because that version of you deserves to be left behind forever.